Hey guys, Adam here at DirectionTrader.com. Let's go over today's markets, talk about what happened today, and what I will be looking for going into tomorrow. Okay, so as you can see here, this is crude oil, and we have the daily chart over here. This is going to be a 1600 tick chart, more of an anchor chart for me. So going into tomorrow, today was kind of boring for the most part. We were actually looking for selling opportunities down below this previous day's low. Really just kind of chopped around there. It sold off here just in time to pop right back up. So wasn't too, all too active pretty much in anything, especially the indexes. We're going to go over them in a minute. But we did take a couple trades here in crude, pretty much flat in crude today. Just never got anything to take off and get going in our direction. Took one at... just a small stop, and then took some small profits on the second trade. Pretty much a complete break even on the overall here on crude today. Going into tomorrow, though, look over here at the daily chart. What just happened? We put in a little bit of a topping tail candle there, meaning that we got some selling, popped up a little bit, and then closed a little bit lower into the session. So going into tomorrow, I'm going to have to see this thing get up above these highs to get very aggressive. To get too aggressive, because the sellers have come in over and over and over, and a little bit lower here, but then they came in again, and then again today, more selling came in inside of this resistance area on the daily chart. So into tomorrow, any type of selling, if we look over here at an anchor chart, watch your moving averages. You can get any moving averages starting to work to the downside. Any type of pullback, I will be looking for further downside opportunity on crude. So I kind of like the way crude is set up today going into tomorrow. Me being a little bit short bias here. Anything to the long side, I'm going to be very, very hesitant, okay, until we can break up above them 54 halves. But like I said, anything to the short side tomorrow, we've shown that the sellers can kick in up here. So anything to the short side, we got up in that region today, got a little bit of selling. So anything to the short side tomorrow, anytime you can get the moving averages kind of working in sync here, and you can get a pullback here, would be a great opportunity intraday for me to go ahead and short somewhat aggressively tomorrow in crude. So looking good here. I like the way the price action is here to the short side on crude. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the indexes. I guess I'll look at the S&P first. And a little lesson to talk about here. In the trading room, we were extremely quiet. Let me go back to this morning and show you what we've seen in the trading room. Here you go. So, for the most part, after the market opened, we opened up right in here, and we went into lunch right in here. Very, very, very neutral market. So we had the early pop here pre-market. As the market opened up, we just consolidated. Now, there was something I was talking about going into lunch today. We broke for lunch at about 11 o'clock here Central. I was talking a lot about the volatility, or the VIX. Now you can look at the you can look at the regular cash VIX, or you can look at the VIX futures. That is /VX. Either one. What we were noticing with the VIX, I'll show you in just a second. The VIX was trending higher and just kept on pushing higher. As you can see here, the indexes were very flat. Now these are an inverse correlation. So if the VIX is heading higher, you should see some selling here on the stock index futures. We weren't seeing that this morning. You see, as the VIX was pushing higher all morning, we got no movement here with the stock index futures. And I was talking into lunch. I said, guys, I'm going to get fairly aggressive this afternoon if we can get an afternoon fade. Gonna get fairly aggressive if we can get an afternoon fade. And then here it goes. So, is this something that we just kind of guessed? No. We were watching for this thing to roll over as we were watching that volatility early on this morning, saying, guys, this volatility just keeps pushing higher, and there's been no movement here with the stock index futures. I'm going to wait patiently. Now, do I know that it's going to fade this afternoon? No, but it could lead to a fade tomorrow. But sure enough, we got that fade this afternoon, that selling this afternoon, made for some really great short side trades this afternoon here. So let me go over to the VIX here. It's going to be /VX and just show you what I was talking about. You just now saw the intraday chart here of the S&P. Remember the S&P, it looked like this. Intraday it popped up and then just consolidated all day. What happened here on the VX? This is the VX /VX. That is the volatility, the volatility futures. What happened? Straight upside movement all morning. And what happened with the S&P? It was very neutral. So I said these should be inverse. So if the VIX is heading up, the indexes should be heading down. We weren't getting that, were we? So I said if the VIX continues to rise, I'm going to look for an afternoon fade. Sure enough, the afternoon fade came, and these stock index futures made for an awesome move to the downside here. One that if you weren't watching the VIX, you might not have been anticipating. So let's go back to the S&P here so we can talk about what we see going into tomorrow. Bottom line is, we're up here at the resistance here. We're at these highs. We're actually looking for this thing to fade. Sure enough, we got that fade. Now, we're not looking for a whole lot because we have very, very sideways moving averages. We're getting really, really pinched in here. Get all these moving averages together, what happens? You get expansion and contraction. Expansion away, contraction back. Expansion down, contraction up. And you start to get what you call kind of a zigzag here. If you had a line, you'd be like Swiss cheese just poking through these moving averages. Not a bad trading as long as you understand what you're looking for here. As we were coming up into today, part of our game plan today was to look for some selling. And we weren't getting much movement in the trading room this morning. It all came this afternoon, so we didn't get any trading. So going into tomorrow, I'm still going to look for that downside opportunity. The only chance I'm going to look aggressively long would be above today's highs, and I would look to trade it right back up here towards these 2120s. Okay? I hope that helps, guys. I hope it helps, especially if you're trading the stock index futures. Try and look at some type of volatility, and maybe, obviously an inverse. If you use the VIX, it's going to be inverse the stock index futures. It's a huge, huge helpful tool in my trading, and it's one of the main market internals or indicators, as you see down below here. I have the VIX right down here. I have the tick, I have the advanced decline, and then I have the breadth over here. So it is one of my main instruments that I use to help confirm the moves in the market. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you by us going over that VIX and talking about how we were anticipating the fade this afternoon. And sure enough, the fade worked out perfectly for some really good shorts this afternoon. So hope that helps, guys. If you have any questions, get a hold of me, adam@directiontrader.com. You can leave a comment. But that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Have a good afternoon.